fourth and long, and, obviously in that situation we typically go for it. But it was fourth and long, ball at midfield, and, our thought was, hey, if Elfstead can, pin those guys deep, there's like 4 minutes left in the half. If we can get a 3-and-out down there, maybe we get the ball back at midfield with a new set of downs and a minute and a half left. And, then maybe we've got a chance to put some points on the board. But it's very much contingent upon, the defense coming up big. And they did it one better, because we were talking about, do we start using timeouts? If we have those guys down there and it gets to be, second, third down, we've got a couple of timeouts left. We try to conserve some time on the clock and get that ball again at midfield, and maybe even better than midfield. They punt it to Reichley, and anything can happen. That kid is electric on punt returns. And so that was kind of the thought process there. Our defense had been playing well. We had been pinning them deep. We've been getting the ball at midfield. We've been getting some nice punt returns. Let's see if we can't do that one more time with, a minute and a half left. See if we can punch one in. But Staska came up huge. A sack, knocking the ball out. Weiss jumps on it, and a couple plays later, we're in the end zone. And all of a sudden, not only do we have a lead, but we've got some momentum going into halftime and coming out into the third quarter.
So that made the score 17-7 Owatonna with a minute and a half to go in the second quarter. Just to backtrack for a moment, trailing 7-3, you had a fourth down and goal, I believe it was on the 3-yard line. This would be midway through the second quarter, so it's 7-3 Northfield at that point. And on fourth down, you guys go for it, get the touchdown rather than kick a field goal. So just a comment about that decision to go for it on fourth down.
Yeah, it was actually... we were going to trade the tight end over to the open side, and then run Jason off tackle to that direction. And Abe, I think, either missed the signal on the tight end trade or just forgot to do it, in all the ruckus. So Jason actually had to run to the right with two guys essentially unblocked over there, and he got stood up at the one. And really did a good job of fighting in for the touchdown, and that turned out to be, a real big score for us because it was a bit of a mistake on our part to do what we did there. But sometimes good things happen, even if you make a mistake in a play call or in the way that you execute a play.
And it was close at halftime, 17-7, even though the Huskies certainly had the momentum. But the offense, maybe 100 yards and change of offense in the first half. But two quick drives, big plays. How did that offense get rolling so quickly with those two drives early in the third quarter?
Well, Northfield really dedicated themselves to putting 7 guys in the box and taking away the run game. And they made the run game pretty tough sledding for us in the first half. But when you do that, you've only got 4 guys in coverage. We've got 4 receivers. So all of a sudden, they're playing man-to-man all over the field. Wherever a kid goes, they've got to go with him. And, it's tough to match up with all of the athletes that we have. So, the first play in the second half, we called a hitch route, just a short little 5-yard hitch route to Dalton Kubista. And their corner came up and pressed Kubi, got right up in his face, and Abe converted it over to a fade route. And we hit that for about 30 yards. And then Jason popped one on a zone play, a run play. And all of a sudden, it's 24-7. And, same thing in the next possession. We get the ball back in pretty good shape in midfield, and we ran a little slant route, and Soley has, got great hands. He's such an important part of our defense that we don't run him that frequently on offense. He's probably had 3 catches, 2 of them for touchdowns, but ran a quick little slant route. And again, you're covering man-to-man all over the field. There gets to be a little bit of open space. If you're a good receiver, you can pry yourself open. Solely caught the slant route, broke the tackle, and then went in for a touchdown. So all of a sudden, we've got him on the run a little bit, and feeling pretty confident with our ability to kick the ball deep, our defense to force the team to go 80, and then our offense to be able to start milking the clock a little bit, taking time off the clock, making it difficult for Northfield to see the ball enough times in order to mount a comeback at that point.